What's up, y'all? We're back with another Hellraiser film, another supernatural horror film. This is Hellraiser 6, Hellseeker, released in October 2002, directed by Rick Bota. Now let's watch a trailer and let's get into it.
Welcome to the worst nightmare of all, reality. Which do you find more exhilarating?
It's getting hot in here.
The pleasure.
It's perfect.
I prefer pain.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, Pinhead. I prefer pain as well. It's your boy Diego. We're back in this world of cinematics. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right into this one. This is a 2002 film. It was actually filmed in 2001 in Vancouver, British Columbia. This is another Hellraiser series, or Hellraiser movie within the series that went straight to DVD, unfortunately, but that doesn't always mean that it's a bad film. It's just unfortunate. It was just either budget constraints or, they just wanted to make another another movie in the series to kind of keep fans drawn in and make some more money. Basically, it's all about money at the end of the day. So welcome to the worst nightmare of all, reality. Yes, we're back in this world of sin. And guess what? I didn't hate this movie as much as I thought I was going to. Now, I do hate it. I hate it pretty bad, but we'll get into that. So yeah, this thing was directed by... So it's directed by Rick Bota. It's not the same director as Inferno, which it was my mistake. I thought it was, but Inferno was directed by Scott Derrickson, and that's the last film, or the previous film in the series. Now this is Rick Bota, and I believe he takes over the next 3 films in the series. So yeah, it's the same psychological thriller vibe as in Inferno. It was written by Carl V. Dupre and Tim Day. And now Clive Barker also got involved a little tiny bit on this one. I guess it was just in the third act. He kind of reviewed it and added some suggestions. But he wasn't a big writer in this one, and I think this is one of the last films, if not the last film, Clive Barker was ever involved in at all. So there's that. It's got that, early 2000s vibe to it, so I like it for the nostalgia. I like it for the creepy vibe it's got to it. Now, I'm not sure if it's just because it was that bad that it's got that kind of creepy, wow, this is a shit movie vibe, or wow, it's kind of just unsettling and you don't know really what's going on, what's going to happen next. So yeah, I'll give credit where credit's due. Now this one picked up on Hellraiser Inferno, and it tried to do that same type of psychological horror, rather than gore and body horror and splatter horror type deal. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, but this movie, the reason why it falls short so hard is just because it feels like a confusing nightmare, a discombobulated shit show of visions, dreams. You don't know what's going on, if the guy's in hell, if the guy's still on Earth, living his life. It's just crazy. So if you're into those type of horror movies where you don't really like what's going on, or you don't really know what's going on, you might like this one. But someone like me, I like to see a clear storyline. I like to know what what the main plot of the movie is. I'm okay with plot twists midway or towards the end, but yeah, this one was just a confusing nightmare, to put it gently. Um, but yeah, so that's a bit of my thoughts on the film. Now let's get into the main cast. So yeah, we got Trevor. This is the main character in the movie. Basically, in the beginning, Kirsty, she dies in a car accident. He's just not looking and he drives into a fucking river or something and then tries to save her. He's able to get out of the car himself, but he can't get out, so, or rather, she can't get out, so he watches her die, basically. It's kind of unsettling and a sad way to start the movie. Now, Trevor is played by Dean Winters. I thought the acting was just blech. It was pretty trash throughout this thing. The acting was decent by Trevor and Kirsty and Pinhead, but I don't know. It just felt too cheesy. Like they weren't trying very hard, and it was just an under budget film. And yeah, something that would go straight to DVD basically. But yeah, we got Kirsty, rather. I think I said Kirsty, but I think her actual name is Kirsty in the films. Yeah, and it's nice she's back in this one, and she's played by Ashley Lawrence. Now, beautiful, beautiful woman, Ashley Lawrence. She's a few years older from the first film that was done in '87, I believe. So yeah, it's what 97. So like 15 years later, something like that. Or yeah, 14, 15 years later, whatever. So yeah, she's a bit older in this, but she's still gorgeous. Yeah, and I really like her character. I thought it was an interesting plot twist at the end. I'm not going to share too much spoilers because while this is still a B horror and a kind of a shittier straight to DVD release of the series, it's still kind of an interesting movie. Yeah, I mean, y'all might enjoy this one, so I'm gonna try not to give y'all too many spoilers on this. But yeah, Kirsty, played by Ashley Lawrence, just a bombshell brunette. We got Pinhead, the legendary Cenobite, the king, the master of hell, basically, played by Doug Bradley. Excuse me. We got Allison. She's kind of like one of the doctor psychiatrists in this movie, played by Rachel Hayward. We got Gwen, which is, I believe this is Trevor's boss in the film. Now, Trevor's an accountant or a stockbroker or something. I'm pretty sure he's just an accountant, though. And he's working for this firm, and his boss, or his higher up, is Gwen. And she's trying to seduce him, have sex with him to give him a promotion, and essentially throughout this film. It's kind of kinky, but, that's Hellraiser. Sex and pain and just weird shit. I love it. Yeah, so Gwen, played by Sarah Jane Redmond. Next up, we got Tawny, played by Jodie Thompson. Another just gorgeous smoke show trying to seduce Trevor in this film. I do like in this film there's a lot of seduction, mostly like dominant female seduction, which is really kinky and really sexy in my opinion. And I thought this film did it pretty well, so there's that. Next up we got Sage, played by Karen D. Silva. So yeah, she's gorgeous as well. Next up we got Detective Lang, played by William S. Taylor. Now, this is an interesting character. I think this is a role that was done pretty well. And basically this detective is just trying to get to the bottom of Trevor's wife's murder, of Kirsty's murder, and as the events unfold, he becomes, a prime suspect because for some reason he was able to escape the car and she wasn't, things like that. And then the last character I'll mention here is Brett, played by Trevor White. Brett is Trevor's friend in accounting, works at the same firm, and he's just kind of looking out for his friend, saying, hey, are you alright, man? Like, you got a headache, you got amnesia, you don't know what's going on since this car crash. But yeah, as things unfold, we learn that Trevor and Brett, they kind of were working together, and they're kind of these douchebag bros, kind of pieces of junk. But overall, I think Trevor's character is likable enough, and he's personal enough. You feel him on a deeper level. But yeah, this Brett guy character, he kind of feels like the douchebag friend that wants to go out and party or go get laid and go to the club, things like that. Alright. So now we can get into the actual movie a bit more. Some things I really liked about this thing, some things that were absolutely horrendous. And, things that were just hard to get through. But overall, I didn't mind it. I thought it was a decent attempt by the director and the writers on Hellraiser. Another sequel in the franchise. But for me, this one just wasn't hitting the same as, say, Hell on Earth or Inferno or of Curse. Or of course, the original, Hellraiser OG, the 1987 masterpiece. Alright. So let's get into this thing. Alright, so yeah, apparently this Trevor guy is a stockbroker. The things I really liked about this film were just how this Trevor guy appears to come off as, a nice guy, a caring guy. But as the film goes on, you uncover he's got some ulterior motives, or how should I say, more sinister motives, more deep and evil desires going through his soul and through his mind. Yeah, he's just an interesting character. Again, I don't think the acting was great by him. It was decent. The acting by Kirsty's also not the best, but but yeah, as far as a Hellraiser installment, it's decent. Pinhead's not in this one too much again, which is good. As I mentioned, I like that they don't bring him out in every fucking second scene just to throw an appearance in there and say, oh, big scary guy, whatever. I like the psychological torment or the amnesia aspect of you don't know what's real from what's fake. You don't know what's reality, what's a nightmare or a dream, or you don't even know if you're living in the same reality anymore, which sometimes in my life I feel that way. I think, is this really a real human experience. Am I really alive right now? So I like films that make you question that and question your own existence, your own state of being. Although in this film, I think they went a little over the top and it was just too confusing. The guy doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's having dream after dream, but the whole thing is just basically a giant dream. It's fucked up. So yeah, this movie just, the main reason it's gonna get a low rating from me is just because it didn't make sense throughout the majority of it. I'll say that. But you know, I thought it was decent. I thought at the end how the plot kind of all came together. It made more sense for me, and I like the ending of this movie most of all, and the plot twist in there. So there's that. But yeah, starting out the movie and getting into it, I thought it was kind of rather boring. You know, up until the midway point, it gets better as it goes on. Or it gets better from the midpoint to the end, I should say, rather. But yeah, this thing is decent. If you're a Hellraiser fan, you should definitely check it out. You know, I just had to, just because I got to see every movie in the series, whether they're good or bad. I love everything about this series. Yeah, I thought Pinhead's lines in this were good. He's got some very good quotes, like the ones you heard in the trailer. You know, what do you prefer, the pleasure or the pain? You know, I prefer the pain personally because the pain never goes away. It's always around you. You might as well get used to it and you might as well fucking enjoy it because, yeah, this is life. This is what it's all about. It's all about pain. It's all about suffering, baby. Let's fucking go. Yeah, that's kind of where I am on this movie, and that's a big reason why I just love Hellraiser so much, is because, you know, they play on that aspect of pleasure and pain, and how there's such a thin line between the two. You can't distinguish sometimes, you know, what is pain or what is pleasure. So, and the same goes for hate, love, you know, love, hate, all that sort of thing. So yeah. What else will I say? Yeah, it was a straight to DVD release, so it wasn't anything too special. I feel like as time went on in the Hellraiser series, they were just milking it for money while trying to make it look scary. But they started to put more of this psychological thriller take on it, which I'm seeing in the last few films, which is kind of, I don't know if I like it as much. Like, in this film, I didn't like it as much just because they made it so boring and so drawn out, so confusing. But in Inferno, I really liked it, so there's that. Yeah. I'm interested to see any comments y'all got on this one. What did y'all think of this one? For me, it's definitely a nostalgic movie. You know, early 2000s. For me, it's got Ashley Lawrence in it, the absolute gorgeous bombshell. So there's that. And yeah, some great quotes by Pinhead. And then, just briefly, what I didn't like again was the storytelling. The plot didn't really make sense throughout. Felt like a confusing, just nightmarish take on a movie where you don't know what's going on. You don't know if the guy's dreaming, what's real, what's fake. You know, you don't know where the story's going, and it just feels like a shit show. I hate those type of movies where it does that to you and you're like, you're wondering like, what the fuck's going on. But yeah, I'm glad it made sense in the end, thank fuck. And then yeah, just the acting. a lot of the acting wasn't great. It was just meh at best. Um, and yeah, one more thing I will mention, which is kind of I don't want to give too many details or ruin the fucking twists or the spoilers of this movie, but I like how the director and the writers are able to convey this message of your own inner demons and your own inner wickedness, and how they end up fucking you over in the end and consuming you, killing you, torturing you, causing you pain psychologically, physically, to the people you love. This idea is really interesting, and it really hits home for me because I know that I'm a pretty wicked man myself. If you want to call me that, if I want to call myself that, after reading the Bible and just living the human experience and having a conscience, the things we do and the things we say, the things we do to the people around us every day, it kind of weighs heavy on us. I don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about, but essentially this director and these writers are able to they're able to convey that message well in the last few films of just the human nature and how wicked we are internally, how the things we love come back to hurt us the most, and our pleasures end up turning into our greatest pains, things like that. And just the message of, like, if you're a piece of shit, a lot of times this life will come back and it will fuck you over. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the film. Let me know what y'all thought of this one. This is Hellraiser, Hellseeker, and yeah, I'm definitely a Hellseeker myself. I don't know about y'all crazy motherfuckers out there watching my channel, but if you're watching World Cinematics, a blood and gore review based YouTube channel, you'll probably be an evil motherfucker too. You'll probably be a Hellseeker too. So yeah, these are the movies I look forward to. The movies about hell, about self-destruction, about biting off more than you can chew, danger, fear, torment, pain, all that shit. I love it. So here we are. But yeah, so Hellseeker is gonna get a I don't know, because this one I did really like certain aspects of it, but again, it's just the storytelling, the acting, the confusion. It's gonna get I'll give it a 5 out of 10, somewhere in the middle, I guess, just because it's just not all there, but there's certain things I did really like Pinhead's lines were legendary, and I'm happy they gave Pinhead the respect he deserved as kind of this villain that's, he doesn't pop up every now and then, he's, or he doesn't pop up in every fucking cutscene. He's in the background, the puppet master, if you will, kind of orchestrating the hell on earth, or hell in your mind, or in hell itself, and he just calls the shots, and he's a badass motherfucker, and there's nothing you can do to stop him once you open this box. So yeah, it's gonna get a 5 from me, but realistically I like it a bit more in the terms of nostalgia, in the terms of Hellraiser vibes, and Ashley Lawrence, So yeah, it's my review on Hellseeker. This is Diego, in the world of cinematics. And yo, thank y'all for being here. I really appreciate it. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Alright, peace.